On October 13th, 1992, the government announced the closure of 31 pits, with the loss of 30,000 miners' jobs.
The mining industry has been run down over the years, and I think it's just reached the stage now where something has to be done. And if it isn't, I mean, obviously the whole mining industry is going to collapse.
These miners deserve better than that, I'm sure.
I think it's absolutely crazy closing down the pits and putting all these miners on the dole.
The pit closure shouldn't happen because it's a family trade. It's putting loads of people out of jobs.
We have no clue.
Just ain't fair on them.
At the end of the day, I don't see why they should be causing more loss of jobs. They should be doing things to build more jobs within Britain.
I think the government's bang out of order.
Unless there's change of heart, it's going to be very bleak for the miners, particularly those with families and particularly with Christmas on our doorstep.
I think the only ones that are going to be in work are the politicians.
So I feel it's terrible and something should be done about it. And we should all stand up and fight for what's right, you know. The people should stand up and basically fight for what's right for everybody.
That's exactly what they did. The Trades Union Congress organised a march through London to back the miners and to show the government it had to change its mind. All over Britain, people were angry. They rose up to tell the government no. In the driving rain, it was the biggest demonstration the Conservative government had ever seen. The marchers descended on London from all over the country. Miners, proud to walk in full pit gear, were cheered and applauded all along the way. But it wasn't just the miners and their families. Their cause had brought people together in a way not seen for years. Young and old, men and women, members of many different trade unions, and many people not in unions at all, those in work and the unemployed. They came from all parts of the community, all political backgrounds, and all walks of life. And they were united in their desire to say the same thing.
The sway of public opinion has to make some difference at some stage and really just has to be done.
The vast numbers of people meant that the march stretched for miles, taking 4 hours to snake its way through London's West End. The marchers were good-humoured and entirely peaceful, and entirely determined in the message they wanted to give to the government. With jobs being lost every day, with unemployment being pushed up everywhere to 3 million and beyond, they wanted to say that the pit closures were not on, not sensible, not fair, not right. As the first marchers began to enter Hyde Park for a giant rally, streaming along the path to a specially built stage, a traditional colliery brass band was already there, entertaining them. The marchers knew that the government, faced with this tidal wave of public opinion, had to listen to the people. They'd had enough. They'd had enough of job losses, they'd had enough of unemployment, they'd had enough of waste. The rain couldn't dampen their spirits. TUC President Alan Tuffin, who chaired the rally, welcomed the first of the marchers and remembered the last time the rain had pelted down in the park.
Never mind the weather. If Pavarotti can do it in the park, so can the TUC.
Expert speakers were there to spell out why protesting against the closures mattered. The leader of the Pit Supervisors Union told the rally that the government's decision had galvanized the nation.
The 13th of October marked a change in the attitude of society in this country. Society will, I'm sure, follow the mine workers.
Miners' leader Arthur Scargill hammered home the importance of public opinion in helping the mine workers fight.
Someone asked me, did I believe that people power could change government policy? If people power can bring down governments and change society in Poland, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, and the former Soviet Union, it can turn back a government who's lost all credibility here in Britain. All of us are facing dereliction and destruction at the hands of a government who don't understand the meaning of the word compassion.
Even some employers opposed the Chancellor's economic policies and the government's pit closures.
We have got to tell Lamont once and for all that unemployment can never be a price worth paying for any of their theories.
Pit closures not only united the people, politicians from all parties, including the Conservatives, came together to oppose them. Liberal Democrat Paddy Ashdown made it clear how crucial supporting the miners was.
For there is more at stake here even than the future of 31 pits. What's at stake today, this last week, in the next 3 months, in the years ahead, is the future of coal, yes, but it is also the future of industry in this country and the future of democracy itself.
And still the marches came.
You are now over 300 yards deep, and I still have to tell you that they're still marching up Park Lane to get into this rally. They're still up there in their tens of thousands.
TUC General Secretary Norman Willis stressed that jobs in every workplace, not just the mines, were at risk.
No pit, no factory, no office, no hospital, no school, no bus or train service is safe. Today, nobody's job is safe because there is an attack upon it.
But it was a nervous, unemployed woman who'd never spoken in public before who managed to catch best the mood of the marchers.
People of all beliefs, politics, ages, religions and race have come together to defend the miners. We are simply telling the government, no way. We are all here today. We must always stay together to build a better Britain. The government shall not win. We shall win. Society will win. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Just how wide and strong was the support for the miners was spelt out by church leaders of all beliefs, including the vicar of one of the pit villages worst hit by the closures, Grimethorpe.
We want to be here to say that we want a future. We want a future for our village. We want a future for the children of our village. We want a future for the pit in our village.
Economic policies must not become the master of our building communities in this land. And I believe that that's what we're all standing for today.
Unemployment calls for action. It is part of the teaching of my church that any government has a duty to regulate market forces in the best interests of the whole community, while not compromising the freedom which each individual is supposed to have.
Labour Party leader John Smith, summing up for everyone at the end of the rally, left no doubt where the blame lay.
And I say to John Major, before you decide the fate of over half our coalfields, visit them for yourself. And then, Mr. Major, when you get back to Downing Street, think carefully about the things you've seen and the people you've met, and change your mind. Halt the pit closures, protect the national interest, and start to be a Prime Minister. I believe that today, with this great rally, we are seeing the people of this country coming together in a unique way. I think if we move forward with unity and consistency of purpose, we will win. And we will win for one simple reason: our cause is right.
And still the marchers came to join the huge rally. And still they came. "200,000 people marched that day. They were marching to save the miners, to save their skills, to save their pits, and to save their coal. They were protesting not just for themselves, but on behalf of everyone across the country. They were marching for justice. They were marching for fairness. They were marching for decency. And they were marching for Britain.